This Mercury retrograde is going to be an interesting one. So it begins November 25th at 22 degrees of Sagittarius, and Mercury will then travel back to 6 degrees of Sagittarius until the middle of December, December 15th and 16th. So the territory of your chart that this Mercury retrograde covers is 6 degrees of Sag to 22 degrees of Sagittarius. So the thing that makes this even more interesting is that Mercury is in his detriment in Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is currently retrograde in Gemini. Jupiter in Gemini is known for being in its detriment, but they're in mutual reception, meaning they're in each other's ruling sign, both retrograde, both in their detriment, and both will be squaring Saturn in Pisces. So what this comes down to is that minds are going to change, choices are going to change. You might feel like there isn't a good choice, a good next step. Things will fall through. This energy can feel restless and scattered. It could feel like I don't know what to choose. I don't know what to think. I don't know where to put the energy into going forward. I do feel that this particular Mercury retrograde is going to require a level of detachment. You don't have to figure it all out right now. Granted, that looks different in different situations and scenarios. There's things you have to respond to, you have to communicate, right? You can't leave people hanging. But there's something about this energy that could feel like something isn't quite lining up. It's just not coming together yet. So one of the ways to work with it is to stay open to, well, what can I choose right now? What details are important? Because Mercury in Sagittarius misses the details, skips the important information, is already off and running on to the next thing, forgot the passport on the kitchen counter. So we're going to need to be intentionally grounded and give ourselves time to think it through, talk it out, weigh the options, and know that, even if your first or second choice doesn't happen, then a third or a fourth choice might just work. I feel like this particular Mercury retrograde, not only is it wanting us to be more detached, but to not put so much, priority on what we think. To not overly attach the ego to the mind. What does it mean if you're wrong? What does it mean if something doesn't happen? What does it mean to you if your opinion is challenged or your belief system is being reworked at a very deep level? How much of those aspects of yourself are truly a part of your core energy field, your core self? So one of the best things that can come from this particular Mercury retrograde is growth. Growing, expanding, elevating beyond what you previously thought or what you had assumed, allowing yourself to be, wow, I'm ready to look at that differently. I could consider the other side of the coin. And that is part of the opposition with Mercury in Sagittarius and Jupiter in Gemini. Our belief systems and how they form our daily thoughts are shifting. We're becoming more conscious of how we communicate. And we have the ability to perhaps not speak too fast or make any grand declarations, which is part of the energy of Mercury opposing this Jupiter, is big statements, wild, exaggerated declarations. All of that can show up. But remember, they're both squaring Saturn in Pisces. So it's going to be an interesting time, and we can not only grow from it and be more detached, but we can become better communicators if we're able to see where we need to make adjustments and where we can stay open to what we don't know. I'll keep talking about this on my Wednesday weekly podcast. Stay mindful, stay intentional, and have some fun, because that's also something that Sagittarius and Gemini do well. We can laugh at ourselves, we can take things lightly, and we know that, everywhere we're going is leading us somewhere where we can grow more. And I'll be back here soon.